Oh, the raindrops are here. The raindrops are here. Look, in the background, you can see I was watching Peacock. I realized that because I was catching up on Potomac because I was busy last night and I couldn't watch it live. So I had to catch up today, just in time for you guys to get into the latest episode. But first thing first, we actually have a special guest in the building from Monday Night Live. We got Latrice Rogers from Bell Collective, who is going to join us in a minute to talk about everything related to this explosive season of Bell Collective. But first thing first, let me bring on my friends who I love and y'all faves. Give it up for Dustin and Claudia.
Hello.
What's up,
How's it
y'all?
going?
Hi.
It's
We are
going
on
good.
time again. Can you believe this?
I actually can. I think we got a good system in place. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yes,
Mhm.
you know, I tried to make sure that the raindrops see improvement. I
Mhm.
saw you guys like, I don't know, on Friday. So, you know, it seems like yesterday.
It does feel like he's kind of getting us, like whipping us into shape to like maybe
Yep.
prepare for like to be network quality. You know what I mean? Like,
100% accustomed to a little bit heavier lift. We like that. You know what I'm saying? So we're
I
good.
love a heavy lift. Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, I like when it's heavy and it has to be lifted. I love that too. Oh, well, you looking around? Is someone back there? That's a heavy lift.
Well, you know what, Claudia? Lord, lift us up where we belong. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't there a song, Lift Us Up Where We Belong?
Yeah.
Lift us up where we
We
belong.
belong. Okay.
It's okay.
Eagles cry. Hell
Something my mom
yeah.
used to play. Yeah, very whitish.
Mm-hmm.
You have a
That
good
way.
weekend? You have a good weekend?
Carlos, we want to know your business. So we talking to you. Did
Well,
you have a good weekend?
I think everybody wants to know your business. My business is the same old, same old. I have a very normal life. Unlike Lisa Barlow from Salt Lake City Housewives,
Uh-huh.
you know, I live a very simple life than the rest of you guys. You know,
I
my
call
life
her
is
leather
simple.
pants. I call her leather pants. People like to talk about Crystal Kung Minkoff's leather pants, but it's really Lisa Barlow. She always got on leather pants, man. She got baptized in leather pants. Ain't that Mormon shit? She had on some white leather pants, and we call that Mormon shit.
That's not good to wear leather pants every day for a woman, though. It keeps everything hot and moist. You know what I'm saying?
That's
hot.
how you live with a hamster, right?
A hamster.
A hamster?
Or a
Well,
donut.
remember what Katie said from Potomac about Ashley?
Oh, yeah, see, that's
Boom, there you go. See, it just came
there you
together
go.
for you. Yeah.
Claudia, you're giving Lisa Barlow tease tonight, actually.
Am I?
Do you know who that is?
No.
She's a I think she goes say, am I? She's a Salt Lake City housewife who's gorgeous. She's by the way, she's gorgeous.
Let me look her up before I see if you shaded me or not. Let me see.
No, I'm not shading you. Ask Dustin. Ask your brother.
I
Okay.
ain't even in this. No, I'm just playing. Yeah,
Oh, so what
it's a
shade?
compliment.
What
It's
do you
cool.
say? What
No,
reminds
it's cool.
what reminds you of her, of me? Like
No,
the hair back.
it's a
I'm
slick
watching.
back. It's a slick back hair. The part in the middle. You look stunning. I think
Mhm.
Lisa Barlow's a beautiful woman.
She
I
is.
went to LA real quick for this event for Dr. Truesdale, who, if I ever do a facelift, he'll be the one to like snatch his neck up because he's a black man in Hollywood at Beverly Hills. That's amazing, does amazing work. So we went to an event, and then I was just so tired from, I've been beat on going on planes, go somewhere for like 12 hours, come back. I am exhausted. So I just stayed in the house all day yesterday, did not wash my hair today. So y'all getting the old natural today, okay?
Let me see the
Right.
back.
Not a weave in sight. My hair is shoulder length at best, okay? But it is real, but that's all I got to give. I'm giving you all that I can give. That's it.
That's
You
how
look
you look
good
in your
still.
old track pictures too. The older pictures of you running track back in the day, you had your ponytail. That's how you look.
We did not do fake hair, lashes. We just pulled our hair back in a ponytail, maybe some gel, and a little bit of a frosted lip. And that's it. That's all we gave. That's all we had to give. So yeah.
Well, Claudia, the thing is this: you don't have to give much.
Oh, thank you.
You don't. You're naturally gorgeous.
Thank you. But these
You
filters
are.
and lighting help. Okay.
Look, there's no Facetune app that you should be ashamed of, baby.
Oh,
You
yeah.
listen. Let me tell y'all something. I think it's okay to every once in a while have a great filter.
I do too. There's not listen, filters when you look raggedy and haggard and whatever, just don't change the whole shape of your face. Like I said, I have a couple friends that like to former friends that like to use the 14-year-old filter. I'm like, who's that? Like it's crazy. Like it should be a better enhanced version of you, but you still, not like a different nose and different mouth and different eyes. And I see people with like small eyes have big, huge doe eyes, and a big nose have a thin nose, or or little no lips have big lips. I mean, I do
Yeah.
like that a little bit sometimes myself. I'd be lining my lips to the very edge, trying to make them look bigger. But yeah, just like make it look like we're like, oh, we know it's you.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree. Dustin, do you like a filter?
No. You look how the fuck you look. You know what I'm saying? What I like more than that is not being disappointed if I see you in person. I like
Mm,
for there to be
Mm,
continuity. The word is continuity, people. There needs to
continuity.
be continuity, right?
not
You
contouring, but continuity.
right. And also shout out to the great Cash Doll, right? Who we love. Cash Doll has a line in her song Power where she says, one thing's for sure, two things for certain. I look the same in my pics as in person. Cash Doll said that. So
I
that I
like
think
her.
that's a mantra for that ass. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? There
Yeah.
you go.
Is
Mhm.
it a like when people say you look better in person? At first, like, oh, my picture is trash, but
Mhm.
you want that. You want, but then
Absolutely.
looking better in person is not just your features; it's also what you're exuding. Like if you're in a good
Yeah.
place, like you're happy, like that beauty is also like your vibes that come out of you, like that resonate.
Mhm.
Like
I agree with that. I like being told look better in person because
Mm.
it's like what Dustin said. I would rather know that when you see me, you're not, distracted by some sort of lack. So if I look better
Yeah.
in person, which I do get that too, I'm fine with it.
Mhm.
Yeah, because imagine if you just was just a thing online, and in real life you really couldn't go anywhere. I know people just won't go anywhere without the filter and all the makeup and like they just can't. That must feel like being a prisoner. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who should we ask? Who should we ask if, how they feel about it? How what their experience is like
Well, there's
changing from pictures into what you see in person. Can you think of anybody?
people I know ain't
Well,
famous. There are people that are in
Mhm.
Dallas that I don't even fuck with no more. But
Dustin is
Mhm.
being messy, and before he goes where I think I know where my brother's going, I'm going to move on. So, Claudia and Dustin, we have a great guest tonight,
Yes, we
Latrice
do.
Rogers from Bell Collective. But before we get started, we have to recap this episode, and we will bring on Latrice. So, this episode, Carrie Paul, our newest Belle, invited the girls to her neck of the woods, the Gulf Coast in Mississippi, and she wanted to gather the girls. And this is obviously the next couple of days after Latrice's pool party,
Mhm.
where her friend Amanda revealed that Glenn was in her DMs, and now her and Letitia are going to be in the same house for a couple of days. And things got off really rocky with the whole selection of the rooms situation. So, Dustin, what do you think about the fact that, look, Carrie is trying to gather the girls,
Mhm.
and she wanted the two youngest Bells, which is Latrice and Letitia, to share a room, and not only share a room, Dustin, a bunk bed.
Bunk beds, which we know is a one-way ticket to getting your ass cussed out, Ville, in the reality television world, right? You want to piss somebody off or you want to offend somebody, you want to be called a name, offer one of your guests bunk beds for the trip. You know what I'm saying? And you will get that from them. So I thought that was interesting. Look, Latrice and Letitia do need to sleep in the same room and figure it out. They do. I'm going to offer my commentary on this from the perspective of the fans that want to see them figure that shit out. We have made progress. So if it takes them sleeping in that room sweating, because you know it was hot, if it takes them sleeping in that room sweating in them bunk beds stacked up on top of each other like that, talk it out, figure it out, bonnet to bonnet. You know what I'm saying? Have a conversation and figure it out. So I was actually okay with it.
Of course, it was so shady putting them in the room together and with bunk beds. First of all, a twin bed. When I go home to visit my mom, right? She has the full size bed. I swear that my father and her conceived me in. All right, and I'm like, or it's the same size. I'm like, how the hell did two people fit on a twin size bed? That's why I mean a full size bed, a twin size at this age, and then one of them got to climb up some stairs at our age with our kneecaps and all that. I think she should have put them in a room, like maybe the bigger room together. So it's like not a hostile environment already, because it's already hostile, like it's already awkward. But it's funny for the fans, but in real life, I couldn't imagine that. Like damn. On top of that, like we're not in a good place. Now I got to be in a twin size bed where if I roll over, I fall out the bed. But it was funny to me that Carrie gassed up this place and kept saying a mansion. That is total raggedy. I'm looking at all the landscaping. I'm like, oh my God, what happened there? Like it was the crop didn't come through that yet. That's what it looked like in the grass. It just looked like it was a mess. And then a mansion that had bunk beds. So sorry to whoever's house that was. I don't know. And I don't have a house like those, but I just was like, she was really gassing that mansion up. I thought it was funny to me though. But I liked it. It kind of go with her personality with giving them crawfish, and everybody was all, oh, what is this? Like I kind of like when you bring like bougie people in those kind of environments. I think it makes for good TV. It was funny to me.
She laid it on thick about that house, just like she laid that mayonnaise on with that finger.
Oh,
you see that?
Not even put a glove on and put the finger in the
glove
mayonnaise.
on.
And I was like, first of all, it wasn't Miracle Whip. Second of all,
yeah. It just and I understand now. I've eaten crawfish multiple times. You know what I'm saying? In Louisiana, different parts of Louisiana, different parts of the South, and other places. I love crawfish. I have never had someone put a surgical glove on. You know what I'm saying? And then put Duke's mayonnaise, you know what I'm saying, with two fingers like this. I've never seen somebody do that, so I didn't know if that was like a local thing. I didn't want to like disrespect it, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know if it was like a local custom, because some shit you do eat with your hands, you know what I'm saying? But I just ain't never done that. I also wondered we need to ask Latrice with that, although I don't think I saw anybody eat it, but I want to know what the mayonnaise and crawfish combo tastes like.
And they had an awful lot of them, and like no way to heat it up. Be outside, which is chilled crawfish. But like it was, again, bougie people with something like that to humble you is great for us for TV. Personally, I'm not a big crawfish fan. I prefer a shrimp or a crab or a clam. But yeah,
Carrie planned that trip for herself, right? Yeah, she planned that trip like as if all her guests were her.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm gonna do everything I like. Look at this. She was so excited about everything. Look at the crawfish. And everybody was like, we're going Gator Swamp. And it was like,
I ain't gonna lie, I would do that too. Like if I was going home, I would want all the things that I like that I miss.
Oh, for sure.
So I get it. Sure. But yeah, she was like, fuck what y'all want to do. You're gonna be in a twin size bed in bunk beds, and you're gonna have crawfish with mayonnaise and bread.
Finger mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise.
Finger mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is a finger food. Who'd have thunk it? Mayonnaise is a finger food. We found out. Thank you, Carrie.
What did y'all think about the whole swamp ordeal? Is that something you guys ever experienced too?
Well, I'm terrified of like alligators and crocodiles and shit. You know what I'm saying? But I would go. Just because I'm scared of them doesn't mean I wouldn't go. I would be a team player and go. It looks fun.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah.
I used to catch turtles and snapping turtles and tadpoles and bring them back to the house when I was little. I would have been all about that. And seeing gators and all that. Yeah, I love doing it. I went to the Everglades once and did that. And then we found out we got scammed that they had a plastic alligator on the tour, and they would be like, oh, look, an alligator. And then we came back from the hour and came back, the same little bullshit was still there. And we took a picture of it. It was just its eyes looking at us. I'm like, y'all ain't shit. And every boat that came back said, yeah, did you see the I'm like, it was fake. I was pissed. But yeah, I want to go and see some real alligators one day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into alligators at all, but what's so interesting is the fact that I agree with you too, Claudia. I like to go on trips where I get to experience something new, something different. And I like the fact that she owned it. She owned the trip. You could tell she was excited about it. And then towards the end, you saw that she tried to have this dinner. And that's where Latrice and Leticia had to address the elephant in the room in regards to pretty much the state of their friendship. So right before I bring Latrice on, they had a conversation about the fact that, Letitia is adamant that she felt she was set up, that this was a scheme that Latrice set up.
Don't say it.
Hey, Mama, not Mama, Miss.
Oh, Bertha.
I'm Bertha. I was gonna say Miss Bertha. I'm Bertha. Thank you, Dustin.
Yeah.
But that was the biggest thing that seemed to be the question mark. Whether or not they felt that Latrice set up Letitia. So I think it's only fair that we bring in the woman in question. So Claudia and Dustin and Raindrops, give it up for the OG Belle, my Libra sis, the queen of bundles, aka Pumpkin, the beautiful, the talented, the boss, the Belle, Latrice Rogers.
Hey, you guys.
Yeah.
What? Listen, that is the best intro he's ever given anyone. Like, for real. I know he loves you, but also that you're a Libra. Now it's 2 and 2. We got 2 Libras and 2 Aries.
Yeah.
You got
balance.
Well, thank you guys for having me. Hi, Reginald. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Dustin. It's actually really nice to meet you guys. I think I've met Claudia before.
Yeah, but we haven't talked.
Well, I think it was season 1, Carlos. We did the oh my God.
Did you do my show? I think I had. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Girl, how could you
forget? I'm old as hell. I probably about 10 years older than you.
And I was gonna compliment you on your Puerto Rican hair, but I'm gonna take that
back. Girl, ain't nothing to compliment here. Look, I need to order a bundle after this. Look at that. But yeah, I remember we did an interview years back, and I think it was during COVID because we were remote at the time.
COVID. Okay, I remember. It was definitely
I remember. Listen, I had 5 concussions, and I'm old, but yeah, I do remember having you guys. Hello. I thought you met in person. We haven't met in person yet. I need to come to your shop though.
Yes, you have to come to Mississippi, both you and Dustin.
Yes.
Like, you guys have never been here. Carlos, he come for a short period of time. He's like 5 minutes and he's out. Okay.
He just
comes. I want to come sit at the bar at Taste, Claudia. That's where we need to go. We need to go sit at the bar at Taste.
I would love to go down there. We should go. I think I went. No, I went to some other place when I was down there. But I would like to go. We should go do a trip to Mississippi.
Yep. I want that same section where the shit went down last season, where everybody was at when they was about to throw that shit. I want that section right there.
We're not gonna talk about that. Yep. That's in the past.
Yeah. I want it that night. Long as I want to put that note in. Okay.
So Latrice, girl, Belle Collective is popping this season, and your name has been the talk of the town, as you know. So Claudia and Dustin, they've been watching every episode this season. We are now at the point in the season where your friend Amanda revealed that she had DMs from Glenn. The shit went down at your pool party, and now you and Letitia are coming face to face on this trip. I'm going to have Claudia and Dustin ask you all the questions, but the main question that I know the audience wants to know, and this is the $1 million question. Did you set up Letitia to be ambushed at your pool party?
I did not, Carlos. And that is the craziest thing to why people would even think, well, I'm not going to say it's crazy because Amanda is my friend, but to have to personally invite these ladies to my house to ambush Letitia, for one, I really have no motive. Like, that entire day, I spent the entire day setting up the party. I know you guys can't show everything, but I hired a guy to come out and show the guys how to smoke cigars, bring out cigars. I had a couple massages. I had the girls to come out and show us how to do line dances. We had pool games, of course, lots of liquor. It was just an amazing night. It was just supposed to be about cool vibes. It was nothing pertaining to, oh my God, let me set up Glenn and Letitia. What will I get out of setting them up? I don't care about their relationship. I don't. I just don't care that much to set them up.
It does make sense though for a TV show. Like, you know, if my homegirl was coming and like one of the cast members' husbands was hollering, it actually is like excellent for TV. You know, maybe not in your, it is like if you did, like I would get that because you guys, I know you guys are, you have to have stuff that's happening at these events. They don't want to just really shoot you guys having fun. I mean, it did cause an epic scene. It was great for the show, but it would make sense. I would tell my homegirl like, hey man, you know, I know he been your DM, so we're gonna play this game, and then you know, we're gonna act like I didn't know. So I can see why they would say that, but it's probably you're annoyed, right? They keep on asking you, and you're like, I didn't do it.
Yes. I mean, like the whole issue with the game, you know, like I said, like it was several people writing the questions, right?
Mhm.
And like I know because we have to go on Twitter, right? Well, we don't have to go on Twitter, but we go on Twitter when the show is live. And I like to tweet, but one of the consistent things that I was seeing was, of course, she didn't look at the questions or she knew the question was on the paper. It is so possible for me not to know. I got so many other different things going on that I'm doing, trying to make sure that this event is perfect because it's on TV. So you want everything to come off, you know, as best as possible. So like I didn't know that that specific question was on the paper. I put questions on there like, what's your favorite restaurant? What's your spouse's favorite restaurant? Because my husband doesn't know my favorite restaurant. So just little things like that. Like and the crazy thing is, even that question, like I just don't feel like that question granted. I'm trying to see how I'm gonna say this because it's so much that I want to say.
Say it
It is so,
all.
and I'm
Say it.
trying to
Say
figure out how
all
to
of
say it
it.
without saying so much because you know I will be revealed coming forward. But Tisha know for sure. Her and Glenn knows exactly how that question got on the paper. They know that it didn't come from me, and you know the fact that, and I get why they're proceeding to act as if you know they're the victims and I'm the villain, which is perfectly fine. I'm always the villain when it comes to them, so I'll take it. But they know the truth. I didn't write the question. I'm gonna stand on it, and that's just what it is.
You know who wrote the question?
I do.
You want to
Can
give
you
them?
say?
I don't want to say. Like I
Why?
said, it's you know we
Well,
still
because
have the.
We're gonna find out later.
it's everything comes out at the reunion.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, but we want to know now. We nosy, pushy Aries, and we
I don't know,
want.
but I need you guys to watch the show for the rest of the
Yes,
season. Yeah.
Let me
yes.
ask you this,
You guys
Latrice.
will see if it really was me, if it wasn't me. You know, you guys will see.
So it does. We will find out, though. We will find out.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's worth waiting for then.
And
Okay.
so you can't tell us who wrote the question, but tell us this. When it is revealed who wrote the question, did you feel vindicated in any way? Did you feel like you had to offer up an explanation? What was your feeling after it was revealed to the other cast who wrote the question?
Um. Honestly, when it was revealed, like how the
Mhm.
question got on the paper, you know, my thing is like one thing I don't do, I don't feel like I have a reason to lie to any of the castmates.
Mhm.
Like, you know, we don't, I don't owe them a lie. And I have no reason to lie on them. Like, you know, I have my own life, I have my own issues going on. So honestly, you know, I don't focus on the Letitias or the Glendales. So even when it came out, like who wrote the question, I honestly didn't care. It was like, you know, I didn't care to feel vindicated because I knew I had always spoke my truth,
Yeah.
you know. So it was
People
whatever.
also feel like after last year, right, when you and Letitia had to sit down, and it's no secret, you've been one of my favorite Bells since the first episode of the first damn season, right?
Thank you,
So as
thank
a
you.
for real, so as a person who has watched it and has kind of been rooting for you in your corner, I was so happy to see you and Letitia have that sit down last season. I think you had on the denim. Was it Versace? Like
A
the boot?
Versace baby.
Yeah, the boots. Yeah,
With a little
that
fat, with a
time.
little fashion over, and yeah.
That time, highs and lows,
I love
right?
it.
But in that conversation, I remember after that scene wrapped, it cut to one of your interviews, one of your confessionals, and in the confessional, you were asked if you trust Letitia now, and you were like, "No, I don't trust Letitia at all." Right? So going into this season, us now being introduced, formally introduced, I should say, to your friend Amanda, right? Longtime friend of many, many years, lots of history. People assume that you, although you weren't responsible for like the information being shared, you weren't responsible for what Amanda disclosed. People feel like you played a part in that, Latrice, in that making it to the air, in that even being something that was discussed. And I feel like you haven't had an opportunity to even clear that part up yet, right? Just in general, whether or not you were involved in or knew that Amanda was going to disclose that information on camera and that y'all would have to talk about it and that it would in effect hurt Letitia. You know what I'm saying? Did you do that, Latrice? And if not, can you make that clear for the people so they can get that off your name?
No, of course not. So the thing with Amanda, of course she told me and Tambra about the whole DM situation. My thing is, and even to this day, if it were to happen again, I would never tell Letitia that
Mm-hmm.
her man was in anyone's DMs. Let's just put that out there. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
if they ask around the question 1,000 times. That's just something that I wouldn't tell her for various reasons, for sure. I've gone to Letitia plenty of times to, give her information, and each and every time that has backfired in my face, like one way or another. So with that, I just feel like, whatever, I just feel like a lot of stuff that she already knew and she knows. So it's no need for me to say anything to her. But with the whole Amanda situation, like, we're friends. And I'm thankful that she did keep that information from me to a certain extent of time. And I mean, oops, sorry, my phone hit the floor. Okay. So I just feel like I'm trying to see how I want to say this, Carlos,
Mm-hmm.
without giving so much away. Okay.
Well, I don't want to speak for you, but I think what you're trying to say is the fact that when it came to the information, you felt that, because you said this on the show, you felt that your loyalty was to your friend
Mm.
Right.
and not necessarily to Letitia, because what Dustin's asking, a lot of people are asking is, and we talked about this at the reunion as well. The moment you found out, right? Like, okay, I now have information um about this, my friend Letitia and her guy. They are questioning, like, why not give her the respect of a heads up, based on the fact that you two did have some friendship, that you two weren't even beefing at the time.
So I think that was more protecting myself because, like
Mm-hmm.
I said, I have told Letitia the most simplest thing, and it has turned and it's always making me look like I'm the villain when in fact I'm actually trying to help. Like, say for instance, the whole baby situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Glendale. My whole thing was the only thing I told Letitia was, oh, somebody's gonna talk about the baby on a blog. They took that entire thing as if I brought information about the baby. Like this was their first time hearing about the baby. Like I'm trying to break up a happy home because I brought the whole baby into the equation when in fact they already knew about was not even a baby. The child was like probably 9 or 10 years old. Like, it's just little simple stuff like that. Like I just can't get past that. So with that, that's the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I do not tell Letitia anything. I've done this with plenty of friends, and in the end, like they're beefing with me because I was once that girl that if I saw your boyfriend or husband doing something, I'm taking pictures, I'm texting you, like I do all of that. But like I said, in the end, they're beefed out with me, because 9 times out of 10 you're on the road with your spouse, right? So that's just the way it go, and it's like a bout lesson each and every time. I've lost plenty
Yeah.
of friends over that. So no, but another thing, like a lot of people were saying, I did that to get revenge from
Mm-hmm.
Tisha for the whole her and Marie trying to fight me type of thing. Like that happened like 2 seasons ago. If like Tisha has done something to me from season one up until probably this season. If I wanted to get back at Tisha for something, then I think I would have probably done it in season one or season two. Like, I have no reason to wait 4 or 5 years later and think, oh my God, now let me get revenge on Letitia. You know, I got so much other stuff going on than getting revenge by bringing somebody on with text messages. Now, that's not my type of revenge.
Yeah.
Like a text that's so mediocre, you know. If I'm gonna actually plan something and do something, it's gonna be way bigger than that. Trust and believe that.
So
I was
go
gonna ask,
ahead.
sorry, but
Mhm.
you kind of already answered it about like generally, do you like tell people when you see stuff? Because we have this debate all the time, right? Like I totally feel you. I've definitely been the one that's been demonized, trying to give somebody a heads up. But I still do it though. I still do it because I'm like, I'm not gonna help no guy cheat. But is it a thing specifically with Leticia that she's hard to receive? It's hard for her to receive this, and she
Yeah,
doesn't.
it's definitely a lot harder for Letitia to receive it, which is
Mhm.
why, you know,
You
I
know,
just
Bob.
don't. I think if we're looking at it, we can go down a list of Bells, and I'm pretty sure all of them know something about Glendale, but nobody is gonna be like, hey Letitia, you know, your husband is this or that, you know. So no.
Is he blatantly out there like that? Is it like a known thing in the streets of Mississippi? Is it like, oh yeah, that's what is he community?
I mean, Claudia, Dustin, you guys have been watching the show. So
I haven't been
I
to
mean,
Mississippi though in a long time, so I don't know what's in those community streets. Like, is his D community D?
I mean, that's what they would say. I've never had his D before. I just focus on my husband's D. So, I mean, that's what people say,
Okay,
and you know, I don't know. I just know what people say. I have
yeah.
not been in the room when, you know, so I can't specifically say if he's
So it's
doing
all
it because I'm
allegedly.
not in the room.
We're
But
gonna
it's
say
just what they say for sure.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
Legal
Hmm.
notes.
I got a question for you, Latrice, right? Because I just want to clear up just the part of like your accountability for like what happened, right, with Letitia, or what people perceive you should be accountable for, right? Because we don't know whether or not you had an opportunity to alert Letitia, right? Not that there was a matter involving her husband or perceived alleged infidelities or any of that, but that something was going to be coming her way that she needed to prepare herself for or just not be caught off guard with, right? Did you ever have an opportunity? Because what we saw on camera was you and Tambra and Amanda in her salon. What's the name of her salon, Letitia? I mean, Latrice.
Pretty Slayer.
Yeah, shout out to her salon. But we saw you guys in her salon and we saw her bring that information to light. And a lot of people feel like you knew it was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And whether or not you knew it was related to Letitia's husband having an affair, cheating, or whatever, allegedly, but that you knew something was going to be introduced in that scene that was going to have a negative impact on Letitia. Did you know what I'm saying, that something was coming her way? And if you did know, would you have, if you didn't know, had you known, would you have given her some sort of heads up that something was coming her way? I think that's what people really want to know. And I don't think your answer should be anything one way or the other, right? I think it is what it is. But did you know that something was coming her way?
All right, so let me say this because I
Mhm.
think, you know, going back to what you said, everybody felt like it was an ambush at my house, which is completely false. Like I said, I would never bring any individual to, for one, that's too much of a liability. You know, you
Mhm.
get the fighting and baby, everybody want to sue. You can sue somebody for sneezing. So, you know, that wasn't my intention. My intent was to have the girls come out, you know, it was Marie's first time at my house. I was surprised I even invited her to my house. You know, I just wanted everybody to just vibe out, have a good time. Now, Amanda, like I said, revealing, of course, Glenn is in her DMs. That was something that I did not know was going to happen. Nobody can ever, I don't care how they twist and turn it. Like, it wouldn't have went down like that at my house. Now,
Mhm.
if we go back to the salon, of course, you know, of course, I knew about the DMs, right? And it's a show. Let's just face it, it's a show.
Mhm.
So I feel like eventually it would have came out. Now, being that it came out at my house, like, and I even told Amanda like that was completely unacceptable. Like I just don't bring bad vibes to my house. Like when they came, I literally saged my house. Like
Mhm.
I don't even know if that Well, I know they recorded that, but literally staged my house because that's just how protective I am about like my vibe, spirits. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to be in good spirits all the time. But Ambush and Tisha at my house, like, no. And honestly, I don't even know. Let me say this. Let's go back to, because I honestly feel like Tisha probably knew in a sense, like she
Mm-hmm.
probably knew more than I knew at my house,
Mm.
and that's honest to God. Like,
Why you feel like
I'm a
that?
stand. So if we go back to
We lost. Damn. See, you just got that.
Wow.
The power of it's
Yeah.
funny. Back in the day, we said it was Simon.
Yep.
I think 2 weeks ago, y'all said it was Jesus.
Yep.
I'm trying to take up for somebody. And now it's the spirit of the Pearson's child. They
Letitia
said,
Pearson Enterprises. Okay.
So
Cool.
I
That
think
plug.
so with her, right? I'd be watching people's like nonverbals. I think no matter what she says, like she has like a mischievous look on. I have this too. I've had it since I was a baby where I'm telling the truth and I look like I'm lying.
Mm-hmm.
Like I look like I'm like she has this like look where I'm watching her like, girl, is this you didn't know for real? But I have that too
There
where
she
some
goes.
people, no matter what they say, people will not want to believe you. You know what I mean? Oh, there it goes again.
oh, what's happening?
She on her Amy Winehouse Back to Black.
She was fun in this episode though. She was fun.
Yes.
Her
you
and her
guys, I'm
husband.
so sorry. People keep calling my phone, and I don't even know how to put it on. Like, what do you put it
You
on?
gotta put it on Do Not Disturb.
Or airplane
I
mode.
was trying to do that, but I do not see the do not disturb. I see airplane mode.
No,
Do
yeah,
airplane mode.
airplane mode. Do that. Airplane mode will help you out.
Okay.
It just won't ring.
She is so funny.
She is. Okay. But y'all know what I'm talking about? Like she has like a
Yes.
in her eye, like no, I don't know what.
And she has a nervous laugh, Claudia, and that doesn't help either. So it
Yes.
just makes people think,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm like trying to read her face, like,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Because her homegirl, that's our homegirl. And
Mm-hmm.
if you did know, you really probably couldn't say you knew either. You gotta take
True.
that to your grave. That's it. Like we ain't gonna say nothing. But it's possible that the questions were they put in like a bag or something?
Usually when you play that game, that's how it's done. That's why I didn't understand why people were trying to accuse her of writing them. I guess anybody could have written them.
Yeah.
But typically you pass the shit around, everybody writes something down and throws it in there.
From anybody.
Yeah. So
and typically when you play games when it's co-ed, there are sexual questions like, is there someone here you would date? But that does usually come from I do know a little something.
Yeah.
Who knows? But I like that she's telling us that we will find out eventually.
Yeah.
Carlos, so that means Carlos knows. Carlos, who do you think it was? Carlos. Blink twice if you know.
Right. He know he want to tell us too, Carlos.
I know, Carlos.
I want y'all to watch the rest of the season.
You MF, you want to tell us, Carlos.
Carlos, hit us in the group chat where we talk about all the other secrets in our lives.
No. Okay, Latrice, are you back?
Airplane mode does not work, but come on.
Yes, I'm sorry.
All
I know
right.
Lizzie's like, no airplane mode. I'm like, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, that airplane mode completely turned off all the Wi-Fi. But yeah.
Never mind.
I want you to know what we were talking about you while you were gone. I want you to think it was like being shady. So I was saying I have a similar thing like you where you have a mischievous look to you. I have it too. Where even when I'm being 100% sincere, I'm like, no, I'm serious. Like I have like a glimmer in my eye or like a nervous laugh, and people be like, "You lying?" I'm like, I'm not.
That is me. I'm gonna either flip my hair or I'm gonna laugh. Like even if you go back to last season, when they had the whole fight at Taste, like I'm sitting here like, but I'm so like my brain is like, oh my god, but it's like, yeah, okay, you guys. But anyways,
and you're like, I'm not lying. I'm telling the truth. And they're like,
So that's what was the question that you had for Latrice before she got knocked off?
Yeah, no, I just wanted you to have the opportunity to clear that up for people, Latrice, because I think a lot of people have assigned you the responsibility of kind of making sure that a situation was in place for Letitia, to feel some sort of pain. And I think a lot of people feel like you knew a bomb was coming her way. You might not have known it was related to Glenn being in some sort of inappropriate situation, allegedly, but they feel like you knew something was coming her way. You did have an opportunity to kind of like protect her in some way, and you chose not to. And I don't think you really have had an opportunity to like clear that up for people so that they know how you came with that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to give you the floor to like lay it out plain. Like, I did not set her up. I did not know a bullet was coming her way. Had I known, I would have or would not have, whatever your answer would be, but just to kind of clear that up for the people.
Okay. Absolutely. So, of course, like I always say, I did not know that a bullet was coming Letitia's way. Like at my
Mhm.
house, if I invite you to my house, I want nothing but positive vibes. Like I had
Mhm.
done so much that day to just make sure all the girls came and that they had a great time, from, the catering of the food to the events that we had lined up, all the games, just whatever. Like I wanted everybody to just come and have a good time. Me and honestly, Amanda didn't even reveal the DMs. It was her girlfriend Javon that revealed the
Mhm.
DMs. I think it was just a lot of drinks flowing at the time, and just how, everything just played out, which is unfortunate. I do hate that. Now, of course, I knew about the DMs. Amanda had
Mhm.
told me and Tamara about the DMs. Now, being that we are on a show and we did talk about it that scene, I can say that, eventually that was going to probably come out one way or
Mhm.
another. Whether she told it directly to Tisha, or, if she just told it to, me, Tamara, Selena, or whoever the case may be. Like, I didn't know that that when it did come out, that it would come out that way. Like, that's not my intention to ever hurt an individual,
Mhm.
you know. And even though I did know the information, and I honestly, like I said, that's nothing that I'm gonna bring back to Letitia.
When
Like
it
it,
comes
it
to
was nothing.
one
Okay.
thing that the fans are super happy about is the fact that, and Dustin is one of those people too, they love that you and Marie are like getting along.
Mhm.
They love it. They love it. They love it. It's probably, what's so interesting, Latrice? It's the number one comment I get about this season. Everybody talks about like, we have so much fun seeing Marie and Latrice get along and how much fun y'all are having. And even in this episode, my favorite moment of the episode was when, listen, Letitia actually plainly like, if there's something you heard, tell me now. Tell me. And you sip your drink, and Marie said, that's the way of telling it. You like, hold on, Marmar.
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah.
Marmar. Be mind the business. Like it's that level of comedy that we are enjoying this season, despite all this stuff that's happening right now. Can you talk to us about? Did you ever think that you and Marie would ever have a season on this show where the two of you are not getting into an argument?
I'm gonna say this. I think Marie's only good as she's produced. So
I could
um,
tell she wasn't feeling her from the look
Yeah.
on her face. When you was asking, she
Yeah.
was like,
You don't think it's genuine that she genuinely has fun with
I
you?
don't think she like her.
of
I don't
course
think that. I
not.
think
Now on my end, I'm cool with anybody. I don't feel like I ever have beef with an individual.
you don't
Like
like
I
that
just move
lady.
on with life.
You
Now,
don't, you don't like that lady.
it's
Your
okay,
face
but
told it all. She was
wait. No, but seriously, Maria's only, like I said, she's only good as she's produced. And um our scenes, of course, I welcome it with open arms, because I'm not that type of person. Like,
Mhm.
hey,
I
you wanna
see, Latrice. Well, Latrice, you okay? I'm gonna say this too. I disagree with you only because before we started filming this season, she was at Taste. She brought Martin to Taste off camera. We weren't filming. She's brought Cedric to Taste off camera. We weren't filming. So she's been in your establishment with no cameras.
Okay, well, let me say this. Cedric has came to my establishment multiple times. And of course, I think that that's a place that he do like. So of course, listen. Because we can go on and on, honey. You know, you got to put something in front of me to make me believe it. Okay.
Carlos, look at her
What?
face. She ain't fooling with that lady.
You gotta let because people believe what they see, right?
Mhm.
You know.
So you're saying more time has to pass for you to truly believe that it's sincere.
Definitely.
Okay. That's fair.
I don't. Yeah.
It is cute to see them on a surface level. We're surface. We're outsiders looking in, except Carlos. But we are me and Dustin. We're surface, outside looking in. So it does look fun, and it does. We were talking about how uncomfortable and annoying it is to go into a scene with this person, that person, this person, all ops. So you want to like get along with as many people as you can for the show, for the good of the show, right? And so it's not a horrible experience.
I mean, I don't care. Honestly, I don't care who gets along with me and who doesn't. Like, that's their issue. I know I'm gonna go into every scene with the best mindset and with no ill intent. You know, if you don't like me for whatever reason, you concoct it in your head, then that's what it is. I'm sorry. I can't be nothing other than me. Like, I've never done anything to a single individual. They can get up here and say, oh, Treese is a horrible person. Well, how am I horrible? Like, can you name something that I did that makes me horrible? You know?
I feel you.
But
So
I mean, from you guys watching the show, have I done anything to any individual that makes me like this horrible person? Like, I want an honest opinion.
not in
And
my
I know
perspective.
Claudia's gonna give it to me.
I'm biased. I'm biased. Y'all know I'm honest about my bias, so I'm just gonna opt out of this question because I am biased. I told you already. Carlos knows. But anyway, so okay, damn. So how you liking Carrie? How you like working with Carrie so far?
I actually really like Carrie. She's a huge personality for sure.
Mm-hmm.
She's a lot. But
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like extraness. Like Carrie, she means no one any harm. She just, she's for the betterment of the group. Actually, I can say that.
That's good.
So I like her. I think she's a great addition for sure.
What'd you think
Mhm.
about being put in the sharing the room and being in the bunk beds? Do you like her that day?
Girl, listen, I was 2 seconds from calling like an Uber in a hotel. I was like, no, I do not share rooms, especially with somebody I know that's not feeling me at that moment. But no, that was, oh my God, I feel like I was back in elementary or something. Like,
Who had to climb up the ladder and take the top bunk? Come on now. Someone had to take it. So I would have been on the top because I would like to look down my perch.
Claudia's a top, honey. We love that about you.
Claudia's a top.
I'm a top and a power bottom, but
Okay. Not y'all being nasty.
No, I know. Tell us, okay, let them know you are a Southern Belle. You're a Southern Belle. Well, look,
they were sucking them Crawford's heads and tails and talking about all that innuendo. Please, the Southern Belles be the freakiest, but they be saying it cute and classy. That's all.
Well, they do.
They do.
What's going on with the condos, Latrice? And has Cliff been coming to the crib, or is he still kicking it overnight at the condos? What's up with all of that?
Right. We still have a few episodes to go.
What
But
can you tell us? Mm-hmm.
well, the condos, they're going good.
Good.
We thought we had a hiccup, but it wasn't a hiccup.
Good.
As far as him, my hubby loves me. Or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. He does anything to, to please me. So, we're Carlos, that is not funny.
no,
my
I just
husband, he's a really good guy. Like, I
Yeah.
think a lot of times
This
when
is
they see him on
hilarious.
TV, it's a complete turnoff. But I actually want them to see that side of him that I see. I
Mhm.
want Carlos to capture some of that.
We did. No, don't do it. At Selena's event, and you got on stage and you spoke about your trauma.
Mhm.
It was nice to see your husband tear up, and it was nice that he was there for you, and it was nice that he was like how he could be a better partner when it comes to dealing with your trauma. So
one step at a time.
like your friendship with Marie, one step at a time. Okay, we are in this together, so don't do it. But no, so listen, Latrice, thank you so much for hopping on.
Yes.
Let the audience know, baby, where they can support you, your businesses, and all of that.
For sure. Of course, Goddess Lens, that's my baby right there. You can go to goddesslens.com, follow us on Instagram, all social media sites, goddesslens.com. Of course, Taste Bar and Grill, all social media sites, Taste Bar Grill, JXN. Condos coming soon. We haven't did a website for that yet, but in about 2 weeks they'll be up. I don't know the name of the website yet, but whatever. But Goddess Lens, everything Goddess Lens, Taste Bar and Grill, and Latrice Rogers official.
Wonderful. Much love to your family too, Latrice. We hope all your family is doing well.
Yeah, they are. Thank you so much, Dustin.
Good, for sure. For sure.
Well, love you, Dollface, and I'll see you soon.
Nice seeing you again. I'm gonna have to check on your site so I can get this ponytail again. Came from my Puerto Rican hair. I'm out of the
Puerto Rican hair, honey.
Shout out to T.S. Madison, yes.
Bye, yeah.
All right, thanks, baby. See ya.
I'm looking at her site right now.
Yeah.
Latrice Rogers, Dustin, that really made Dustin look at her.
I've thoroughly enjoyed her, man. There are certain things, certain people in this universe of reality television stars that I have enjoyed, and I have enjoyed Latrice Damn Rogers. I have. So good to talk with her tonight. Good.
We're good. And Raindrops, don't forget every Friday, 8:00, 7 Central, you can catch Bell Collective on the Oprah Winfrey Network. All right. So, shifting gears, Raindrops, we are here to talk about the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac. This episode is the girls still on their cash trip, and a lot of things take place. The first thing first was the continuation of Stacey, me and Dustin's Michigander sister.
Yes.
Being grilled about whether or not she is dating Monique Samuels, former Potomac housewife, ex-husband Chris Samuel. So just to recap, everybody, Ashley is on 10 defending Giselle against, whether or not she has a new boyfriend. Ashley's like, look, word on the street is you're dating Chris Samuels. And one thing that Stacey did say was that he's a great guy. He's a great father. And look, I give Ashley a hard time. I do sometimes, but Ashley did her job because Ashley was asking the questions that I was asking to the screen. Like, well, how do you know all this? Like, how close are you guys for you to intimate he's a good father and all these things? But Stacey never quite answered those questions. So that part was interesting to me. So Claudia, do you believe, okay, Stacey, who I love, Stacey has been accused since last season of bringing on this guy TJ as a paid actor to play the role of her boyfriend. Ashley is alleging that she was told that Stacey reached out to somebody who knows Chris to see if they could meet. And that's how they were introduced. Do you believe that Stacey did that in order to possibly have a new storyline to bring on this new season?
Yeah, and it worked. First of all, and if you look again, I look at people's body language and the things that they are not saying, right? So first, they asked her if she was, first of all, the NFL player that played for the Washington Redskins. She's getting uncomfortable. The camera cuts to her. They did great editing by cutting her. She's like, looking uncomfortable. Then she never really answered about whether she hunted him down at first. Then she's like, he's a great father, a great friend. How did we get here to this great father, great friend thing? Because you did, in fact, reach out via publicist. Listen, honey, we all do that. I've had a publicist hook me up before with somebody that was almost on Housewives with me, but it didn't happen.
Wait, the actor I met?
You didn't meet him, but he was in the NBA. And I'm so glad no one can ever put us together and attach us now because I'd have been embarrassed. At the end,
is he still in the NBA?
No, But when we were in Atlanta, his little teeth, y'all investigators want to dig, look, whatever. Me and him were involved in a 5-car pileup accident right where he was trying to go back, and we had to keep it on the low because they didn't want him. He wanted to affect him getting his next another contract. So we all and like people drove by the accident scene where I think we're on 85, 80, one of those freeways, and we got rear-ended, and then 4 of the cars hit us. I had really bad whiplash, and we were in the car together, so we had to keep that on the low. I'm giving y'all crazy tea. I got to put this in my book.
Yes.
So, anyways, that was a publicist that reached out to me and said, I have someone I want you to meet. And I was like, I don't know. Can I see him? And she was like, no, blah, 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 blah. And then he took a private jet to meet me for our first date to an island that I was at working. So I'll tell you about it later on, who it was, but I'm definitely not putting it out there now because I do not. So when at the end of my season 7, they were like asking me about the next season, and remember Nene made a big campaign about people need to start showing who they're in a relationship with. So I had the call with Lauren, and they were like, we can't imagine you not coming back next season. And they were like, we need to talk to your love for interest. I'm like, well, it's too soon. We've only been dating for like a couple of months. So I got him to be on the phone with the production. You didn't know this? They spoke for an
hour. Remember, I left after season 7 and I was working another show. Then they called me back season 8.
Okay, so they had talked to him on the phone for an hour, and he was like, yes, an hour. They were so excited they would have an NBA Bravo like it would have been huge because at the time he was still and he is famous, like trust and believe, like y'all people will gag. And people like to say I can't get a man, I don't have a man. I'm very, very good at keeping my shit like quiet. Like I got married without people knowing, like, you know what I mean? So please miss me with the I can't get it. And when I do get a man, he's going to be of stature, it's going to be a leader, it's going to be or someone that's got stuff going on. I don't just go get with, I'm not just going to get with the local whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's not happening. I have a certain kind of guy that attracts me and turns me on. So anyways, I say all that to say this. Publicists are the middle person all the time. The middle person all the time where they'll reach out and put a feeler out to see so you don't look like you're not on blast, like on social media, you know? So it's like, and it's so I do believe she did that. I'm not mad at you, Stacey. I think, but it was crazy to pick someone so close to home. But then she went on to like sing this man's praises of someone that's been talking to him. So you may not have answered the question of, did you go reach out? But you did answer it with your non-answer, because then she was raving about how great of a man. That's like if you ask me, oh, how do you know? Do you know this person? I'm like, oh, I didn't really know. But then I didn't reach out to him. But then you just have all these great personal things to say about him because you know him. Ashley did her job, and I'm here for it.
Ashley did a great job, and Claudia's right. Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt, when they were married, they did talk about how their publicist hooked them up together and said, I think you guys should meet. So it is stuff that goes on in Hollywood. And look, the thing with Stacey, it's another sort of Hollywood accusation that's on her reputation in terms of, look, she was accused of hiring TJ to be her boyfriend. These are things that TJ said. And now she's been accused of being set up by a publicist to date Chris Samuels, which is very interesting. Dustin, what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are that Stacey Rush's addition to The Real Housewives of Potomac has changed that show forever. And I think it is similar. Oh, for sure. And I think that is similar because it changed the texture. It changed the fabric of the show, right? I think that it was similar to the impact that Kenya and Portia made when they joined Atlanta in season 5. That show was never the same again. Never. It always felt different. This season feels different. Last season felt different we were all saying how new and fresh and fun the show felt, and we couldn't understand why. Because Mia was still there, right? This season, Mia's gone. We're able to really feel the personalities in the group and really see them. That was just for fun. It's just for fun.
No, poor Mia, catch a stray.
Right, we just fucking with you, Mia. Congratulations. But it just feels different. She changed the tone. Stacey is one of those rare birds that does not have to seek fame from her performance during combat and argument confrontation, right? She has a personality. Everything she fucking does is funny. When she was in her confessionals this week singing that song talking about dancing, and she was like, oh, I snorted, and she was laughing into the camera, that you can't buy that. That's natural personality. So much of her personality is so infectious that people, now that she has won the hearts of the fans of the Real Housewives of Potomac, they have gone back into the archives of her content from QVC when she was a host on QVC. There is a Twitter account dedicated to clips from her QVC days where they take just short clips, 10 seconds, maybe 30-second clips of her describing items on QVC in a very robust way. Okay. And they clip them down, and they have populated an entire Twitter page full of that. So Stacey changed the show. I love it. Hell yeah, she went out to dinner and schmoozed up next to Chris Samuels to bring some value, some spice to this show, and it worked. It worked so damn good. Monique coming back. So think about that. You know what I'm saying? Stacey's impact. Once again, Monique got a job from that. So this is great. You know what I'm saying? And I think that she handles herself well when Giselle, and especially Ashley, because Ashley throws things at people, figuratively speaking. Of course, she throws things at the other cast members in a much more nasty, sharp-edged way. Like Ashley will smile at you and call you a whore so fast. You know what I'm saying? Well, yeah, well, you were sleeping with a lot of. She does that all the time. And she did that she tried to do that to Stacey, and Stacey turned that right back on. She said, let me clear this up for you right now. I'm back with my husband. She put that ring up so fast.
She did.
Everything Ashley said was out the window.
I listen, I know people gave Stacey a hard time in the beginning, including us. And she's fun. And I like, you know what I like about her? When I was watching the show, and I did watch the whole thing, okay, and I even went back and watched some of last week's again. I was like, the way she's gonna win because she doesn't get emotional when they be coming for her, even when it's 5 against 1, 4 against 1. She's like in her own little kind of world, and that makes it good. Like she doesn't like someone like KK. I gotta just say this about this lady. I want to just make a point. She is drop dead gorgeous. Her body, her face, she looks really good. She's a beautiful girl. Like she really is. But I feel like with her, she's sensitive to every little thing, and she clocks everything, and she like lets you know. She notices every little thing. She don't let none of it go, right? Which I'm kind of like that too. Like, you ain't about to get no shots off on me. Stacey is the polar opposite of that, where people been throwing darts at her. She's just, whether she's affected or not, she don't let nobody know that she is. It doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like it gets through. And I will say this about the girls. This episode, everyone was working overtime being mean girls. There was so many comments being flung. I was like, God damn, like it was so many little passive aggressive and aggressive little jabs that everyone was throwing at each other. Now that's either good TV to you, or you're like, God damn, like the whole time someone was getting a shot thrown at them every single scene. There was not one scene where a jab, a sub was not being thrown. And I it's a little exhausting. I don't want every episode to be like that, because it makes it where a read is not even a read anymore. It's like, whatever. But when every single scene is you trying to jab someone, everyone was getting in on it. Everyone was doing it, and it was a lot. I personally thought it was a lot.
Yeah, no, we talked about that, and last week was way too much for me. I still enjoyed the episode, but I thought it was too much of that antagonistic personality that I thought that everyone adapted to. These shows work when you have, out of 7 housewives, 1 or 2 who is the antagonist. And you can't have 7. It's not the right show to be on. And it's the reason why I agree with the two of you when it comes to Stacey, because Stacey is aloof, and she's, the moment I knew Stacey had the I and the T is when they talked about her breath, and her response was, "Well, hand me a breath mint." Like if that's if the read is my breath stink, they had me a breath mint, and they had nothing to say after that. And that's why when you look at her in this episode, even being approached about Chris and how everybody at the table had this on camera reaction. It wasn't. This is how I felt. I felt it fell flat to me. I didn't feel that the Chris Samuels of it all required all of that. And I do think I'm enjoying this season, but Claudia brought up something, and I want to just add some context to it, especially when it comes to KK, and especially when it comes to what Dustin said about Stacey adding this different texture to Potomac. What I will say is this. Not every housewife has to play up their personality. You do know what I mean? We know that Ashley, the shit starter, like that's who she's been since day one. We know that Giselle's the force multiplier, who is the antagonist. We know that's who she is. We knew that Karen is the one that don't start none, won't be none. Like, we're gonna have fun, but the moment you clock me, I'm gonna call you a ditzy bitch. I'm going to talk about me. Yes, like that's Dustin's proverb on his Twitter that I've seen.
That's right.
So I will say what's interesting is I do feel like everybody is trying to show up as the force multiplier, and it only works when you have one or two. And I think, look, let that be Giselle and Ashley's job. Like that's their job. I don't want anybody else to feel the need to play that role because Stacey's winning to the sheer fact that Stacey is doing the opposite of what we expect from a housewife, and that's a good thing.
It feels like everyone's acting like they're all on notice to not keep their flute, their glass. It feels like everyone's trying too hard to like, I'm going to make sure I'm still a housewife. And I'm like, yeah, y'all are established. You don't have to do all that like every single episode. Some episodes, chill. Some episodes like, damn, you're on 10 all the time. And I didn't like how it seems like they have like a pack, like a wolf pack mentality on these shows where in the beginning, we're all going to hate Stacey. Okay, let's all attack Stacey. Now it's like, we're all going to get on Angel. And then I feel like it's her turn now. And it kind of gives like, she's a newbie. She has less skin in the game. She's coming up having a baby. She's not feeling good about her body right now. She's like not in her normal weight. It's kind of like easy, kind of like, I don't know. It's punching down a little bit. You know what I mean? I kind of felt bad for her this episode when she started crying and then they showed a picture of her and she said, I used to be a red carpet correspondent and a lot of my identity came from my looks and I'm not there right now. Like she knows she's not feeling good about herself. I also, that's the first time it made me think, you know how we were thinking like, we were talking about how she's having a hard time because she's watching it as a fan. I think she's watching it as a fan and she's also watching it as someone that everyone else is feeling to her like they're flawless, they're snatched, they're skinny. She's not feeling 100% right now. And you're coming into the mix new with these girls, you know, like that's going to make you feel uncomfortable and not feel like you're a regular. Like you're going to be off.
It's funny you brought that up, Claudia. I actually agree with you on this too, because I didn't see it, but you are allowing me to see something different. Because one thing I always say to people is, I'm not a woman. You know, like just because I'm a gay man, I'm feminine, I'm not a woman. I will never sit up here and try to ever understand how it feels to be a woman. I don't have that ability. So me being very honest, when I saw the scene of Stacey crying and she told Giselle she thought she was being body shamed, I as a man, right? It didn't make sense to me because I'm like, no, they're clocking your Facetune.
Yeah.
You're not being body shamed. You're being Facetune shamed. You know, like you're being filter shamed.
Yep.
I didn't get it. I didn't understand it. And then Claudia actually said something that I'm now saying, oh, I'm having the aha moment. I now understand that this woman, because I think Angel's beautiful, by the way. That's why I didn't get it. I'm like, and listen, I'm a man. I don't see anything wrong with her body, but again, I'm not her.
She definitely has the baby weight. Like I'm gonna keep it a buck. She's definitely overweight from what she's used to. When they flash back, she was thin, and the face she had back then was closer to the filter face. So I get it. Like listen,
to the what?
The filter face.
Well, see that. I mean, look.
Listen,
I'm gonna sit this one out because I don't know.
she's not feeling good about herself, so she's gonna filter the hell out of them pictures. The face gonna be different, the body gonna be different, and she's gonna sit there and say, "No, it's not," because in her mind, that she wants to look how she used to look. She don't look like that right now. She doesn't. She doesn't.
I have the utmost sensitivity. Like I have the utmost respect, grace, and sensitivity for her as a new mother. I'm like much like what you said, Carlos, to echo your sentiment. I don't think it's our place to be commenting and body shaming women. And y'all know I don't even give it up like that with my comment. That ain't what I do. What I will highlight is the difference between, I feel like we saw again the theme of Two-Face keeps coming up here, right? With Angel, right? Mm-hmm. There was a totally different Angel in scene with the other cast members than the Angel we get in her confessionals, right?
Yep.
She is talking cash shit about these other women in her confessionals. She's talking about the way they look. She's talking about the things that they have or don't have. She's making slick jokes, low key slick references about people's financial statuses, husbands' jobs, all
operating
that
table,
everything to think of. So like seeing her cry and feel body shamed, which I'm sensitive to that because I don't think it's cool never to punch down. Like we talked about earlier, I punch up. I'll say the worst shit in the world about you, but I'm never gonna punch down with it. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't like seeing her cry, but then it felt like if you can dish it, take it. I'm just gonna put it like that. If you can dish it, you need to be able to take it. Toughen up. Why you crying in the scenes and then popping it in your confessionals?
She's uncomfortable. She's out of her league with these girls. She also lied. This is something I forgot to clock last week and bring it up. When she said that when they got to the airport that nobody greeted her, I went back and looked at that. I rewound it 4 times, and Wendy hugged her, and was it Giselle? She got hugged by like a couple people. So go back and watch it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that part in the show when she says nobody said hello to her or greeted her at the airport, they showed it in a flashback where they did, and I'm like, I kind of feel like she's digging a hole for herself. Like I want to be empathetic to her. Like I do feel like there's a real thing there about she's not feeling good about herself. So she's definitely not on point right now with the way she's thinking. She's not thinking straight. She's saying one thing and being the big bad wolf for confessionals, but then in the scene, in the moment, she's not standing up because she's uncomfortable. She's intimidated by these women. She's 100% intimidated by these women. That's what it feels like to me. So then when you're in the safety of your confessional, you pop off and you talk the shit, but you're not able to be that same person and do it in the scene. So, I mean,
but no, Dustin, I mean, I'll say this. And I want to hear from Dustin, obviously. I actually have a better understanding of Angel based on what Claudia is saying because to me, it does track and the reason why it tracks to me is only because she said body shame. And again, as I was watching it, I was like, that's not fair to Giselle to say that because Giselle to comment on your body. But now that Claudia is highlighting that, look, this woman doesn't feel right altogether, but it's primarily her body that isn't what it's used to because I'm now thinking this woman has watched the show and wanted to be on this show for a minute. I'm not gonna say how many years, so I don't know.
Probably when she was thinner too. When
I
she
was just about to say that.
Yep.
The moment you got cast to be on the show, you probably like,
no.
Like, yes. So to go in, because when she was crying, I was wondering like, where's this coming from? But now I'm like, oh, I now see it because again, when Carlos King, look at Angel, I think she is so beautiful. I love the fact that she's curvy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really big on women on these shows. Like I said before about Belle Collective. I have a very curvy cast, and they all have different body shapes, not all of them, right? But I love seeing that representation on these shows. And I thought like, kudos to the producers of the network to cast this beautiful curvy woman.
Yeah.
But now that what Claudia is saying, I'm now like, oh, I didn't know that there's a possibility that Angel post birth doesn't feel like herself. And when they clocked her face tune, she interpreted, oh my God, they clocked the one thing I was insecure about, and that's everything. So I now understand Angel.
I get it. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Claudia.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
You're right. Good. I've talked a lot. Go ahead.
No, but this women shit. So I feel like you need to get your, you know what I'm saying? You need to get
Before
your
my memory
perspective out
goes,
there.
pre-menopause.
Yeah.
When I moved to Dallas from LA, I was like 145 pounds, 144. I was like I have 26-inch waist. My waist is small, B-size boobs, whatever. Like I was like model thin, right? But even in LA, I thought I was big because in LA, that's like almost thick. When I moved to Dallas, I got to relax. I'm on the radio. We're eating grits at 6 o'clock in the morning and like brisket because everyone's advertising their barbecue. So I gained 30 pounds very, very quickly. Now, it made me go from a B to a D cup. Naturally, everybody thought I had a boob job. I didn't realize how much weight I gained because I'm still thinking, I look the way I did in LA. I remember someone came to my radio station and it was someone from LA and they were walking behind me and they were like, damn, you got big out here. And I was like, oh, and then I never felt good after that. Like I have been trying to chase it since then. I've been on Ozempic like 5 times. I ran 7 miles a day during the pandemic. Like, and no matter what, people would say, you're beautiful, Claudia, you're beautiful. But I didn't feel beautiful. I did not feel the way I was. I post throwbacks all the time. She's probably looking at her old reels, her old footage of when she felt that she was at her best. I know I was doing that all the time. Like, I got to get back. And until I get back, I'm not worthy. I don't feel good about who I am. This, like, you think this is cute. You should have seen me back then. And it took a long time to get comfortable with the extra weight. You know what I mean? And that's a bit, and then she's also probably dealing with the I don't know if she had postpartum or any of that stuff, but you do have, from what I hear, a big emotional, like you're dropping the hormones and all this stuff. I just don't think she's a happy person about herself in general. She does have a good husband from what we know, because she makes little jabs at she's nice, but then she says some mean girl shit sometimes.
Oh no, she definitely.
Yes. She's like, oh, he's a starter. Oh, yep. Oh, he gave me 5,000. She's trying really hard to be like, I'm here too. I'm one of y'all too. I'm good enough too. And she's doing it with little microaggressions that it tells me all I need to know. She's not feeling good about herself right now. So where she can get a jab in, like, I got a ring, you don't. I have a husband. My
husband don't play about me.
Yeah.
He's about to send the jet. And I say, Angel, now look, baby.
She's
Angel,
she's overcompensating.
I like you down boobs.
She don't feel good about herself. That's a woman that I listen, we all read people for a living.
Yeah.
She does not feel good about herself. And she's not going to ever say it. She can't say it to those girls because that's not the space to feel vulnerable. You can't, because everything will be used against you.
That's not the space to feel vulnerable. I perceive that. Yeah. But Des, I want to hear from you too, because, outside of that, Stacey, we love you.
Always on our minds, forever in our hearts.
Love you, Stacey.
Yeah.
Gosh. No, but the thing with Angel that I will say, Justice, on point as well, is the fact that Angel, I need to know which one you're gonna be. If you're gonna be the mean girl, I'm here for you, sister. If you're gonna be the passive girl, I'm here for that too. If you're the shady soundbite queen, okay, baby, live it up. But we gotta pick a lane, sister. So when she is having these conversations and she is saying things like the $5,000, my husband will play about me. He goes in the private jet for me, girl. And then we do see her having a good time at Wendy's party. But the moment she spoke to KK, and KK was a wet blanket, her attitude did change. So I am confused about who is Angel. Now, I will say that even today, Claudia has helped me understand her a lot more. So thank you, Claudia. I'm still wondering, like, okay, well, all that being said, I'm hoping that we get to know the real Angel, because I don't feel like this episode even helped me know her either, because she does appear to be two-faced. Dustin?
She don't keep the same energy. She doesn't.
She doesn't. And while I'm giving her grace, and that's just how I live my life, that's the type of person I am, you know what I'm saying? Giselle and them don't owe her shit for whatever issues she's going through, or image issues or whatever. That's not their responsibility to manage that or even handle her with care for that. They're not required to, especially in an environment like an ensemble cast reality show that involves a lot of conflict. People are going to mention things that may make you uncomfortable. They're going to say shit that you won't like. And so the entitlement. You know what I'm saying? That people should give her some sort of grace when she hasn't given anybody any. When it comes to her takes, her opinions, the way that she's chosen to answer questions, laughing to message certain things. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. So Angel, I think, is trying, whereas Stacey is effortless. And I think that's the difference, right? Because while we do like Stacey for having an opposite or unexpected reaction to some of the antics of her cast members, we don't like her just because she's doing something unexpected. We like her because it's natural. You can get into the space of trying to be contrarian just for the sake of, and you end up like a Marlo Hampton, who we loved for many, many years. But once Marlo was given the floor and she had the opportunity to make decisions, you know what I'm saying, that messaged certain things through her behavior, it wasn't making sense. If you would anticipate a person going left, Marlo was going to go right, no matter what. That's not a winning strategy either. I think authenticity here is the most important element that people need to consider, especially the damn housewives. So Angel, get in there, say what's on your mind, but call it exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? Go in there. Look, I feel like shit today, ladies. I don't like the way that I look. And ever since I had my kid, you know, it's been tough for me to like feel good about the way that I look. So that being said, I got a short fuse. Don't fucking piss me off. You know what I'm saying? And just lead with it. So then they are disarmed. You know what I'm saying? And you can go ahead and exist. The putting on is what's getting annoying with Angel on this cast for me.
Very well said. And yeah, being self-deprecating if you can't, like, that will help. But like you're above it all. You know, my husband, we rich, we got this, we got that, and then the next day you crying. I didn't like the switch up with when KK went to go lay down, and then when she was gone, Angel had a blast with the other girls. And then the next day she was mad again. And it's like, I'm not saying she's bipolar, but that's what it's going to give to the people there. Like, damn, like we don't know which way. So she's making it, these are self-inflicted injuries. You're making it harder for the women to actually embrace you. And these people are very smart, very bright. They clock it. So they're going to like not have too much patience. Like you're only going to get a couple times doing this where they're going to kind of like, they're going to be like done with you. And you're going to be the forever villain where they're all going to be, there's always someone that they want to gang up on, and don't let it be you. It was Stacey. Now it's you. It's you now. And I was rooting for Angel, but it makes it harder when she does stuff like that. I didn't get why she made progress with the ladies and then went backwards when she's around her front. I don't know why she's doing that or why she's playing for her girl so hard.
Like, yeah, I think it's one of those things where, and this is just me knowing my history producing these shows, that when a current reality star, or in this case housewife, brings you on the show and you get the housewife title, it's like this allegiance. You know, like I brought you on this motherfucker. Like, be loyal to me. Yep. And I am wondering if this blind loyalty is what Angel has to KK. I really want, the season's already filmed. KK's gonna have a very, very, very tough reunion based on this season. Dustin is right when it comes to how people were really advocating for Marlo to get a peach, and a lot of people felt that when Marlo got the peach, that Marlo wasn't who they thought she would be as a peach holder, right? And Marlo has said her own reasons as to why that didn't happen and her regrets, and she's been very vocal about that. I do wonder if Jazzy, looking at this season, has those same regrets because, you know, we'll get towards the end, but Jazzy's having a tough time. I'm not Jazzy. KK is having a tough time because KK really is coming across like she's not having fun. And everything annoys her. And that's not the KK we fell in love with. But before I get to the end, I do want to get into the ladies talking about Giselle having a boyfriend. Because one thing Giselle does well that I'm not mad at personally is the fact that she gives a lot to the show in terms of making sure shit happens. Because without her, I don't know what would happen. But she does skate off easy when it comes to her relationship. So I love the fact that this episode, all the ladies were like, no, we're going to talk about this man. And to Claudia's point, vulnerability will always make you likable. I thought Giselle looked so likable, blushing over this guy she's dating, because we need some sort of balance. And to see her smile and get coy, like that's what we all do when we're meeting somebody we either are falling in love with or we're dating. And I thought it was sweet to kind of see that side of her. But I want to ask you guys this. How did y'all feel when Wendy said, like, because I consider you a friend. I think we're friends. And people are saying that Wendy got what she wanted, which is the friendship with Giselle. Is that something you believe, Dustin?
Yep. Well, do I believe she wanted a friendship with Giselle? Yes. Do I believe she got a friendship with Giselle? No. Giselle don't like no damn Wendy. Giselle ain't never liked Wendy. Giselle used Wendy in season 5 because they was all pissed at Monique. They couldn't stand Monique. They had been wanting her gone. And so once the fight shit happened and Wendy clamoring for the adoration of the people who she deemed were heavy hitters on this cast, she ran right over there, licking up, ran behind them and shit, sharing their views until they turned on her the very next season because she was inconsequential to them, right? And miscellaneous to them. So they decided, hey, let's have some fun with her this season. Threw around some shit from the blogs or whatever, worked like a charm. She bit the bait like a fish with whatever on the hook.
Worm.
The worm on the hook. Thank you, friend.
Wow.
And that happened. Giselle, Wendy, the jig been up. You've always wanted to be friends with Robin and Giselle specifically. You ain't really care about nobody else, but you felt like those were the most powerful women on the cast, and you wanted their approval and you wanted their friendship and their camaraderie on the cast. This was an example of Wendy. She just stopped the game, the charade that she had been playing since what season was that? 6. Since season 6, she's been playing a game with Giselle as far as their relationship is concerned. Damn well Giselle Bryant does not consider Wendy Osefo a friend before all this legal shit. Okay, the gloves are off now. You see how her and Robin just talked about this shit so casually on Reasonably Shady. Go check out their podcast episode when they discussed Wendy and Eddie's charges. Wendy and Giselle ain't never been friends, and that's why that shit went down the way it did on the show. No. And that's what you get, honestly, Wendy, always rushing to kiss somebody's behind on the show, try to get approval. That's what happened. Now, that's one thing. Wendy, I think she looks gorgeous. She looked gorgeous this episode when she had on that red flowing shit out there on the sand. She looked gorgeous, legs all up in the air. She looked beautiful. You know what I mean? But this is where she pisses me off. It took me right back to season 5 when she was sitting in Karen's house. Okay. And when they were confronting Monique after that physical altercation with her and Candace, and Wendy had that black leather jacket on her.
I knew you were talking about the jacket.
And you did not, and you don't have it. And that is why when she was doing all of that, it took me right back there to her kissing Giselle's ass. I did not like that scene.
Wow, there ain't really nothing to add to that. I'll just say ditto, my friend. Well
You feel
said.
me?
Yeah, and again, I haven't watched the podcast Reasonably Shady yet, but that says it all. I was gonna say, just wait till Wendy comes back with the next season, and you'll see how much of a friend they are. Because if you think people are gonna be able to resist the urge to use that as a read, it's gonna be all we're gonna hear about next season.
That's it.
Hide your bags, hide your jewelry. They gonna be. It's gonna be vicious. You think this year was a lot of little jabs? Wait till next season. If Wendy comes back, because I don't know.
Listen.
Where you going? You got court or something? Where you going?
No, this Claudia, Dustin's a hop of historian. So the Wendy wore a black, I don't have a leather jacket. Wendy wore a black leather jacket and had it off the shoulder like this, Claudia. while she
yeah. She did that to Monique. She did. And it took me right back to that same. And it was in the energy, Claudia, of her wanting to be in the group, in the in crowd with the clique, down with the crew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's what it was. And she was so she was so confidently casting judgment upon Monique, and it was pissing me off.
So is
to
it
tell
like
you
she
that.
thinks as long as she's with the girls over here, she don't care, like she can be mean to the other girls? So she's
Yep,
kind of saying like, oh,
yep,
long I'm with the big dogs over here. Is it like that?
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I'm glad I was never like that. I never gave a fuck who liked
Me
me, who
either.
didn't
Hell, I
like
wish
me.
I could high five you, friend.
Yep,
I swear
not
to God.
never,
Yes,
never scared, not afraid. I don't care if you're the head bitch, the second bitch, the third bitch. I do not care. I'm standing on what I think. It could be
yep.
1,000 of y'all against me over here, and that's it. I'm standing on my business. I'm not a fan of nobody on these shows, so that's how you go in there and be a fan of your cast members. You will be all hemming and hawing and going along with shit that you don't really your core doesn't really go with because you want approval, and that
Mhm.
makes it a harder time for you. Not saying she's doing that, but I'm just saying reality stars in general. And Angel, lesson to you: like stand on your own thing, like be who you are 100% of the time. Because I'm rooting for her, but it's a turn off when you rah-rah in your confessionals, and then you rah-rah with KK, then you tail between the legs when you got to pick which one, mama, because it's going to confuse the audience on who you are.
And they really gonna get her ass too at the reunion.
Yes,
And by
they
her
are.
ass, I mean Angel, because at this point, we're watching what they've already recorded. They haven't had a chance to confront her about the shit she's talked in them confessionals yet. So they're gonna tear her ass up at that reunion. I'm sure she's gonna have a tough time. My girl Kay is gonna have a tough time, unfortunately. We know Wendy gonna have the time of all times at the reunion this
If
year.
she's there.
I hope she's there. I really hope she's there.
I definitely see her being there for sure.
Yeah.
I think she listen, Claudia, she's been promoting the show every Sunday. She promoted it last night. So I don't see a reason why she wouldn't be there. But Claudia and Dustin, before I move on to the ending of the episode, I do want to read to you guys. Angel said a tweet recently. Right after we taped Monday Night Live last week. So I want to read.
Oh, wow.
This is from Angel Massey. She tweeted, I have so many thoughts and feelings about this show. I'll wait until the end of the season to spill, however.
Then shut up.
Oh,
That's how I feel. Shut up. I don't understand why you saying anything. Because what is the point of that? You just wanted to feel like you were getting something off your chest. All that does is send people running in circles. It's a waste of everybody's damn time. That was stupid to tweet. If you're not gonna share your thoughts and your feelings on the season, then don't tell us you have thoughts and feelings on the season, because we don't give a fuck about that.
He wants y'all to bookmark that, so when later on,
'cause-
remember on October 31st, I think she's gonna have a lot of regrets when she sees the show and see how she's coming off in the commentary of, damn, I should have stood more in business. I think, and it sucks when it's too late, like when it's already shot. You're like, fuck. My only hope is if I get asked back for a second season, because when you watch it and you're like, damn, because it's her first time, right? So she's not really knowing how she's coming across, and she's singing it in real time like how we are. In the scene, she probably not even realizing that she's coming off like this.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging. So, look, next season, I think we all can guarantee Karen's coming back to the show. I mean, the premiere opened up with her.
So who's gonna go?
That'll be
Angel?
8 Housewives.
You said Tia? You think Tia will go?
You do? I love Tia.
I do too. But you asked me who I think will go.
Yeah, I like her too, but she's not really she's not a force multiplier. She's just entertaining.
I know, but you know what? Because Dustin said something, just to go back a little bit before I go to the end. When Dustin talked about Stacey bringing the energy of a different texture to Potomac the way Portia and Kenya did to Atlanta, which I said from day one, and Dustin knows I feel the exact same way. I said that Portia and Kenya single-handedly changed the temperature of Atlanta, and it baby, and that's undebatable.
Yep.
So when you said that about Stacey, the other person I thought of was Tia, because I thought there's because you are right when you talk about Stacey is so different, and I've spoken to the people involved with the show, like Where did y'all find Stacey? Like, she is everything. Like, I'm so happy they cast her. So when I look at Stacey, I'm sorry, when I look at Tia, Tia gives me what Stacey gives me in the sense of just so unique and different and doesn't try to be anything but herself. And
Mhm.
and I don't know, it just made me look at things
And it
differently.
still don't hit for you.
You said what?
And it still don't hit for you.
No, Tia hits for me.
No, she don't.
No,
It's something missing, and you know it. There's a
no,
star. There's
I
the
don't.
element. The difference between Stacey and Tia, they're both original flavors, right? They're original.
Yeah.
She's original. It's star quality.
But see, no, I mean,
Would you rather lose Tia or would you
Carlos.
rather lose Stacey?
Now you
no.
know who you're gonna say. So come
No.
on,
Would you rather
bro.
lose Stacey or would you rather lose Tia? If you had to pick one, and there's your answer.
If it was my choice, I would keep both and lose someone else. And I'll tell y'all.
No, with those two, out of those two, who one gotta
Oh
go?
no, but this is the thing. Hear me out. Hear me out. When Kenya Portia came on Atlanta, I didn't produce season 5,
Mhm.
right? I remember receiving phone calls about like, baby, this woman named Kenya Moore is twirling all of Atlanta, giving that show hell. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I was invited to Nini's Shoe Dazzle event and as her friend, right?
Mhm.
So I went there, not as a producer, and that's when Kenya came dressed up as Phaedra.
Mhm.
And I said,
With those butt pads?
yeah. And I was like, but mind you, I did seasons 1 through 4. And I'm like, what show turned into? Like,
Candy
I
don't
was
give a damn. Like, she'll do whatever.
Claudia,
for
I
Atlanta.
was widely intrigued. So again, this season had Portia and Kenya, but the talk of the town was this Kenya. So I said that to say, I remember everyone saying Kenya, and Portia was not considered like the main attraction her first season. So I said that to say, I feel like, let me not even say that because God forbid they say, Carl's comparing Kenya to Portia. I'm not, so stop it. What I'm saying is, I think Stacey is such a star that I would never compare her and Tia right now the way you could not compare Portia and Kenya their first season. But Portia obviously emerged as like this amazing star that she is. And I think Tia has, I would love to see what Tia does next season. So although I think Stacey's star power clearly blinds everyone's, I do think don't sleep on Tia just yet. I think Tia, I will give Tia one more season.
Mhm.
To
I would
really
too.
to really see what happens. I'm intrigued. But Claudia, do you? Oh, go ahead, Dustin. Go.
For the sake of conversation, right?
Yeah.
Since we're here, let's stay here for a second, right? Because I think the difference between the two is that we have to acknowledge the difference between the two when it comes to Tia's journey thus far and Portia's first season journey going into her second season, right? There was a sharp pivot going in from season 5 to season 6 in who Portia was on the show. Season 5 Portia and seasons 6 through 13 and season 16 Portia are two totally different people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Completely different. It's as if two different people walked into the casting rooms both seasons. So unless Tia, think about it, Portia, divorced
right.
Cordell, got her boobs done, started talking about sex, totally changed up her. She was a Stepford wife at first, or at least cosplaying as a, what do they call it? A trad wife. That's what they call it now, right? She was a trad wife at first. Completely did a 360. Now she's throwing ass, talking shit, hitting people in the head. She totally turned into a different person on this cast. I don't know how much room as a mother of grown almost children, husband, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how much room there is for a pivot, really, when it comes to what Tia brought to the show this season. In order for her to have that same sort of impact and be relevant to the show, right, there would need to be a shift in what you can offer. And although I've enjoyed the hell out of Tia thus far, I don't know. The difference between keeping the Angel versus keeping Tia, Angel is more connected to the cast, and so there's an opportunity there for bonds and connections and shit to be broken, weakened,
Who are you
strengthened,
enjoying
whatever.
more? so far.
Between Angel and Tia,
Yes.
Angel.
Oh, okay.
Really? Okay.
Tia has great commentary and is fresh, and that sounded cool in their British accent, and I think her kids are amazing. You know what I'm saying? And I enjoyed seeing her scenes as a mom. I would watch a Tia show, but I would rather watch Angel as a housewife than Tia as a
I
housewife.
see what you're saying. I kind of feel like she's like, the more we talk about it, she like when she pops up, she's definitely a light. She brings fun.
Yeah,
But
she needs
like,
a spinoff.
like how some people like, I just feel like she's could almost be like a supporting member, like a friend. Because as in her life is, and to her credit, there's not a lot of dysfunction there. She's not delusional like Stacey, which makes her interesting. Angel, you know there's some darkness going on there. She's not happy with herself, so we want to know more about that. Giselle, you know, she's a shit starter. I feel like with Tia, she's fun. Like she's the fun friend. Oh, bring your home girl. Bring your home girl. She's fun. She's fun. But maybe she gonna have to mix it up a little bit with somebody, get into it with someone, or I don't know, stand for something. Because like right now, she's just like a fun one-liner here and there. I get what you're saying, but I still like her on the show. I love it. I love what she brings to the show.
Me too.
And that brings me to what we saw at the end of this episode was the battle between Jazzy and KK that has been brewing since they both were on the show last season, fighting for a champagne flute, the housewife prop, and KK won. Jazzy is super enjoyable to watch this season, this episode. I smiled a lot looking at Jazzy. So Jazzy and KK are there's this tension brewing, and they didn't show us everything that's going to happen. So they did a cliffhanger. But what we're seeing is the fact that Jazzy is intimating that KK said something so bad about Wendy that on a scale of 1 to 5, if Wendy ever heard about it, how mad she would get, she said an 8.5. And these two are starting to really open up Pandora's box in terms of what they said to each other when they were in friendly spaces. When you look at Jazzy and KK and what appears to be the destruction of a friendship they did have, what are your thoughts on that, Claudia? Do you really think it has to do with two girls talking shit about each other? Jazzy said the timeline in which KK said these things about Wendy, they were in a good place, meaning Wendy and KK. Or do you think it's two women who are trying their best to be a housewife? And that's where
a little bit of both. Ain't nothing worse than get into it with someone that's as close to you, knows well the bodies are buried. Let me tell you something. When they were having the conversation, when they were talking shit about Wendy allegedly, do you think Jazzy was just sitting there like, oh, really? Not saying anything? No, they probably was both talking shit. I hate when girls do this shit. Don't just tell my part. Don't cut my part out of the text messages and just show. Don't just cut your part out and show mine. Y'all were both, if y'all were friends or cool, y'all was kikiing, y'all was both talking shit. And now when we're not cool, now you want to let it out. You was saying shit too. I don't like when people do that when they use some stuff that was said when y'all was cool, and y'all was like, you know, having a little kiki about something. That's to me should be like, I get it, but I don't like it. I hate when people do this shit. They tell this stuff happens all the time. Tell me why she was so comfortable saying this stuff about Wendy to you. Because y'all was both talking about the lady. It was never just one person sitting there just listening and oh no, you shouldn't say that about Wendy. They both was talking shit. So I bet when it comes out, now they're gonna start dropping bombs. And then of course they got the extra layer of one got to be a housewife and one didn't. So now once one person takes the gloves off, now it's gonna be, oh, now it's on, now it's up. And now you're gonna hear some real bad stuff from both of them. Now they're about to both let the chopper sing, and they both gonna be letting out shit that they shouldn't have. That happens. And let me tell you, every friend circle, even us, our friend circles, you with your friends, we all have a shady text thread where you feel comfortable with your people where you talk your shit. That's normal. It happens.
Now you said that though, and Dustin, I couldn't hear your thoughts. I just have to say, I was literally talking to somebody the other day about the fact that I think if everybody sat back and said, look, everybody has been guilty of either on the receiving end or being the sort of instigator and talking shit. And the thing is this, I don't.
Even people you like, you might that day
I
they
was
got on
gonna
your nerves.
say, I'm in my 40s, so I've had enough life experience to know that talking behind someone's back sounds so crazy, but hear me out, does it, Claudia?
Let's be honest. Let's
Let's
have
have more
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah.
Because let's have real one. Everybody breathing has had conversations about another person when that person was not in the room. And, and on the surface, it can be you talked about behind your back, behind my back. No, I had a conversation about you and you weren't there. However, like Claudia said, if you want to know what I said, I can tell you to your face. I have nothing to hide. But we're all guilty of having conversations about another person when that person is not in the room. And Claudia's right in the sense of, look, you all have had a moment as friends to where if me, Dustin, and Claudia had a conversation, and Claudia said something about a person that I know, and I sit there and listen to it, I should not be considered fake because I listened to my other friend say something about somebody that I know who I consider a friend. To me, that's between y'all. I don't give a shit if I get involved.
The problem is if you tell on me.
Yes, I'm not gonna then tell it. Well, Claudia was saying shit about you. So I
right
actually agree with you, and that's why I didn't like the fact that they were going there because I thought it was a desperate move for a battle. But Dustin, one thing I love about Dustin will let you know immediately his bias when it comes to this person is my friend and they're my favorite, and I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. So, Dustin, what are your thoughts about this, sir?
Yeah, I'm old school when it comes to that kind of shit. I don't believe in talking about your friends behind their back. There are, and again, yes, we all have conversations, we all discuss things, but there are degrees. There's varying degrees of appropriateness when it comes to conversations that you should have. Again, y'all know this is probably the only place in my life where I'm conservative and traditional, right? But when it comes to that friendship shit, discussing your friends, having your friends back, y'all know me. I'm very old school like that. So I don't do the talking about your friends with another one, with this one, with that one. I don't do that. Now, if we having a conversation and certain things come up, we discussing something, that's one thing. But I'm not gonna go behind my friends' back, nor am I gonna sit behind my friends' back and let somebody dog them out and talk about them like a dog. We adults, if y'all have y'all challenges in y'all relationships, that's expected. And you may have somebody might not like you, Claudia, or somebody might not like you, Carlos. Somebody might not like me and have their own issues with us. They can talk about that, but them calling me some things or calling y'all things, you're not finna just disrespect my friend like that around me just because y'all got a problem. So there's a balance, there's a line there that exists. Of course, we have opinions, we share them, we laugh, make jokes. That's different to me than talking about somebody behind their back. That's two totally different things to me. So I think we need to give ourselves a little bit more grace, because I'm agreeing with you both. That's not wrong. If you have a conversation and something comes up or someone has an opinion on something, that don't mean that you're wrong for witnessing that conversation. But if you participating in it, if you're speaking disparagingly of me, if you're allowing them to disrespect my family and, just cross a line, to me, there's just a line there that exists. So,
and like you said, degrees, like, we have friend circles. Like we had a friend circle. There was 4 girls in here in Dallas, which we've actually disbanded since, but we used to have fun and we would pop off a little bit, but there were certain characteristics of certain people in the group that we would say it like, and sometimes maybe 2 people talk on here, not trashing, but it was like, well, if she gonna do nothing else, she gonna be late, or she gonna wear them white shoes. It ain't like evil, like spirit, character things, but like little, like everyone has said something about when if like it could be to that degree, but then don't go back and say Claudia was talking so bad about you, how you always late and you never on. Bitch, you was right there with me and you was agreeing and it was playful.
And you didn't tell me before. That's my thing right there. Motherfucker, if somebody was talking shit about me and you held on to the knowledge of that until you got mad at them, then fuck both of y'all. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you was in there, you are just as foul to me as that person because you allowed it and it was cool until you got mad at them. Definitely. Now you want to tell me all this shit? Fuck both of y'all.
Yeah, they say that's mess. You find out who they are on Mad Day when they mad at you. Then all of a sudden it's like,
and I don't like, and I think that's why I my first thought was, all right, this is going to get unnecessarily messy because I just don't like it when you feel like you said, Claudia and Dustin, when you're having conversations and all of a sudden a private conversation we had now gets exposed when it to put 20 on 10 because we don't know what KK did say. And I feel like we've been dangled this carrot of we still don't know what KK said about Wendy to Jazzy. And we've been teased about this for 2 episodes. And
it might be nothing. It might be something.
It sounds like it's nothing, but for the sake of the show, I hope it's something major because we're being teased about this for 2 weeks.
If someone would have did me like that, if I was a KK and I heard that, what did I say, bitch? Say it. Say what I said right now. Don't be dangling this carrot for weeks. No, what did I say?
Like she did at the end of the episode.
Yeah, you said it too.
Yeah, with that silver Dior bag sitting on the table, Kiana be having her shit. If you peep, like she and me and my friends were watching the show and we were laughing because Giselle had on them Poochie pants and Kiana had on the Poochie too. I think it was a dress and she had the visor cap with the see-through visor brim on it, all Poochie head to toe. That's for the fashion people. But yeah, Kiana be having her shit on. But at the end of that episode, Claudia is so crazy. But at the end of that episode, she called Jazzy out. She was like, yo, I can only be accountable for whatever it is I know I said. So unless you want to tell me what I said. And Jazzy said she kept it to herself because the timing of whatever she's alleging Kiana to have said, what she said that the timing of her saying it would be really hurtful to Wendy. Whatever that means. All these riddles and shit. Yeah. What's going on?
I think there's a lot of resentment that one got a peach, the other one didn't. So now
I love that we say peach for every
oh, sorry, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to feel it's a peach.
Everybody does it. I think it's hilarious. We'll talk about like freaking Beverly Hills. Well, she got the peach. Got the peach. So that's
the peach is universal. The peach is
talking about basketball wise. Be like, she got a peach.
Chantel Christie got her peach. Yes, the whole thing. It's actually that's why I think it's hilarious. So look, we will see what happens with this, but I actually am glad that we were able to address a lot of things going on with Angel because I do feel like that's the one thing to me that I do feel isn't as definitive in terms of like what their storyline is as the others. So I'm hoping that we get to see something different from her after this trip ends so that, we get to get settled in her world and just see what that looks like. So
I just want to make one more note regarding Angel in her defense, actually. But in Angel's defense, that body shaming shit is time out for that because I don't know where the motherfuckers are from, but Angel is a woman who people deem desirable, right? Her curves, her body, that's not a negative thing. So I don't know what metric or rubric people are holding her to or whatever, but that's a desirable woman where I come from and in a lot of other parts of the country and the world. And people should consider that. You sound lame to me if you body shaming her for putting on weight after having a kid.
Yeah,
that's lame.
I agree.
And she's not a sloppy woman. She's a sexy, curvy woman. Like
it's one thing if you are just lazy, downing bags of pistachios and like I do all the time. But she actually gave birth to someone. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's something that it's gonna take a minute. And I just don't think she's happy about it. She had that two-piece on, which it wasn't really that flattering. And I felt like when she was in the room, she felt uncomfortable. She had the glasses on. I could tell she's showing you what her body language is. She's not really comfortable with her skin right now. I'm assuming. I hope don't get mad at me.
No, I think you brought some insight.
It's reasonable for you to say, yeah.
I actually glad you brought that up. So Raindrops, let us know what you think in the comments, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, y'all. Have fun.
Bye, y'all. Mwah.